Hello Hercules, this is day 3 of our English learning together. You're not going to see me today. I'm going to try and do it like this so you get to see my writing close up and I can model it a bit more as if we were at school. So Tuesday was nice and sunny after all, wasn't it? So welcome to Wednesday and let's get started. So today we're looking at editing and improving again, because there are lots and lots of steps in Key Stage 2 in our writing steps that involve editing. It's really, really important. It's called editing, but we like to call it editing and improving, because the improving part is the really important bit as an author. So as you can see, I've got some things here that you're going to be looking for. Okay, so this bit up here, I could do as your teacher when I'm marking. This bit here, you need to do as the author, because you know what you want to say and you know the thoughts that are in your head. So I'm going to go through you just one of my paragraphs about Frida. Okay, so I have been using this book to help me. We will have looked at it in year 1 when we did Mexico, and it is very, very beautiful. It's got the most gorgeous illustrations. There's Frida, look, trying to do one with one of her little characters or something. So here's Frida with her Mexican doll, and there's just some most beautiful illustrations, and it's a lovely book. So I've been using that. I've also been using this, which you can see that I've highlighted, which was written for Key Stage 2 children. So that's what I've used, and here is my first paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you, and you're going to be able to see what I've done. So you can't see the whole piece on screen at the moment, because when I do that it makes it very blurry and you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to read it to you, and we're going to talk about how I am going to improve and edit it as the author. So this is my first paragraph after my introduction, and it says, early life. Frida was born on the 6th of July 1907 in her parents' house, which was called the Blue House. Frida had 6 sisters, but she still felt lonely and made herself an imaginary friend who was also called Frida. Her father was an artist and a photographer. Frida was very close to her father, and he was the person who taught Frida how to paint. When Frida was sick, she caught polio and was very ill. She spent many months in bed, and her illness left her with a damaged leg. Frida disguised her thin left leg by wearing long skirts. It was during this time, in bed poorly, that Frida teaches herself to draw, and it helps her with her sadness. So I'm going to have a look at each line one by one and think about what I want as an author. So I've double spaced it so you can see my writing underneath. So, and I already know that there's some things I need to change here. So we've got Frida was born on the 6th of July 1907 in her parents' house, which was called the Blue House. Now I haven't, where was she born? What country was she born in? Because it's quite important where she actually comes from, because it influences her art and her dress a lot, and we learnt about it because we were doing the rainforests. So I need to put Mexico in there somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to add it in here. Okay, Frida was born on the 6th of July 1907 in Mexico City, Mexico, in her parents' house, which was called the Blue House. They were very artistic. Okay, carry on going. Frida had 6 sisters, but she still felt lonely and made herself an imaginary friend who was also called Frida. So here I've got my exclamation mark. Right, I'm happy with that bit. Her father was an artist and a photographer. Frida was very close to her father, and he was the person who taught Frida how to paint. Yep, I'm happy with that bit as well. When Frida was 6, she caught polio and was very ill. She spent many months in bed, and her illness left her with a damaged leg. Frida disguised her thin left leg by wearing long skirts. It was during this time, in bed poorly, that Frida, I've put teaches. Now I probably need to change that, don't I? Because that doesn't make sense, because I'm talking about the past. It was during this time, in bed poorly, that Frida taught herself to draw, and it helped her with her sadness. Okay, so I've done my editing. Obviously I'd already checked my spelling. I had a spell checker on my laptop, so that was good. So I've checked my spelling. I'm happy with all my punctuation. Just want to see if I want to add anything in. Do I want to explain things a little bit better? I'm going to read it again and just have a little think, Hercules, I think. Frida was born on the 6th of July 1907 in Mexico City, Mexico, in her parents' house, or at her parents' house? At her parents' house. I'm going to read that again. Maybe I want to change it. I'm sounding a bit like Tom now, aren't I, on his videos? Frida was born on the 6th of July 1907 in Mexico City, Mexico, in her parents' house. I want to say at. I'm going to change that to at. At her parents' house, I think, which was called the Blue House. Frida had 6 sisters, but she still felt lonely and made herself... Oh, I'm going to change made. I'm going to change made. I'm going to put created. Okay, but she still felt lonely and created... I'm going to have to change the whole sentence now because it's not making sense, is it? Still felt lonely and created an imaginary friend for herself, who was also called Frida. Right. Her father was an artist and a photographer. Frida was very close to her father, and he was the person who taught Frida how to paint. Lovely. Yep, happy with that. When Frida was 6, she caught polio and was very ill. She spent many months in bed, and her illness left her with a damaged leg. Do I want to put... I might put left in there. Left leg. Frida disguised her thin leg by wearing skirts. It was during this time in bed poorly that Frida taught herself how to draw, and it helped her with her sadness. Don't know whether I want to move those sentences around, because I've jumped into after she was better, and then I'm talking about her being poorly again. So I'm just maybe going to read that to myself and have a little think about whether I want to move it around. So, when Frida was 6, she caught polio and was very ill. She spent many months in bed, and her illness left her with a damaged leg. It was during this time in bed poorly that Frida taught herself to draw, and it helped with her sadness. Yeah, so I want to put this. I'm going to draw a little arrow to myself. So that bit is going to go there, and then this bit is going to come down here at the end. And then I'm going to add a bit on, I think, to help it make sense. So this bit here, Frida. Frida disguised. So am I going to put when she was better? After her recovery? I'm just going to have a little think. So I've got this bit here. Frida disguised her thin left leg by wearing long skirts. Doesn't quite make sense, does it? Because she was in bed really poorly and now she's up wearing skirts. So I'm going to have to add something in, aren't I? After she was better, when she was well. Well, she was always quite poorly. This was the start of her being really poorly, which you'll find out about in my finished piece, or you might even be able to remember it when we did it in year 1. Brilliant memory if you can. I'm going to put when. Now, the thing with she is I don't want to have too many she's. I want to balance my she with Frida. So I'm not saying she, Frida, Frida, Frida. So I'm going to write it first and then I'm going to do my final check. When she... I forgot what I was going to say. What? Frida. When she had recovered from her illness, I'm going to put, just to make it really clear, comma, Frida disguised her thin left leg by wearing long skirts. Right, so Tom's final tip is that you read it all aloud to yourself, and that's going to give me a chance to check my pronouns. Have I got a nice balance between Frida and she? Right, okay, here we go. So you might not be able to see this all really clearly, but I'm going to read it to you, okay, so you can listen and see if you like the sound of it. So this is my early life paragraph. Frida was born on the 6th of July 1907 in Mexico City, Mexico, at her parents' house, which was called the Blue House. Frida had 6 sisters, but she still felt lonely and created an imaginary friend for herself, who was also called Frida. Her father was an artist and a photographer. Frida was very close to her father, and he was the person who taught Frida how to paint. When Frida was 6, she caught polio and was very ill. She spent many months in bed, and her illness left her with a damaged left leg. Oh no, we're going down here now, aren't we? It was during this time, in bed poorly, that Frida taught herself to draw, and it helped her with her sadness. When she had recovered from her illness, Frida disguised her left leg by wearing long skirts. Yep, I think I've got a nice balance between she and Frida. I'm just going to add something on here. Okay, I'm going to add that word in again. About lonely. Oh, that's because oh, have I spelt that wrong? Let's have another think about it. Own. Split vowel digraph, lonely. It helped her with her sadness and lonely feelings. Right. Okay. I could keep looking at that and editing it again and again and again. But I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it like that and carry on editing the rest of my writing. Right, that was a really long one. I hope it helps everybody. Have a go editing all of your writing today, please, and then we will come and have another chat on day 4 about where we're going to take our writing next. Okay, take care everybody. Have a lovely Wednesday. Bye.